guys, welcome back to another football review. This is the Dual Threat by Team Issue through Big Game USA. What a ball. I ordered 3 balls from Big Game to my house in Canada. Shout out to Bradley from the team there who helped me put the order together because they don't ship to Canada by default on their website. So you have to go through a little bit of a process there, get the invoice right, get the payment right, and iron out the shipping. But man, the 3 balls I got from these guys, you are going to love these reviews, okay? This is the first one I took out because I want to get this one broken in ASAP. Like I said, Team Issue Dual Threat. Now this sells for $99 US on their website plus shipping. This is marketed as the most small-handed quarterback-friendly ball out there. And it's noted in their description that this ball is legal in all 50 states. It's NFHS certified. You can play with this in college. You can play with this in high school. And I mean, in the pros, they use the Duke, obviously, so none of that stuff matters. But it is still the right size for both college and high school ball. Couple of things to note here about the ball. The leather, extremely soft. I should tell you guys that I kind of brought this to the field yesterday, so it's a little dinged up here, but it ships a lot more like this and like this than it does like this. Just some rubber track at the park I was throwing at last night. And it's going to be super easy to break this leather in, I'll tell you that right now. I haven't even taken a brush to this, but it is going to be a piece of cake. The SRS, shape retention stitches, are very thick. They feel very good. And thanks to the angle that the tip of the ball comes off the laces, you may not just get 1 finger on the SRS, you may actually get 2, which is great because the paint stripe doesn't offer any additional grip. It just kind of feels different than the leather. You might like that. It might give you a little bit of a feel for where your hand is on the ball. I know I've used that from time to time, sort of without thinking about it. And of course, we'll talk about the laces. Laces are leather. They are sort of ridge back and not as pronounced as the GST, as the ACL laces on the Wilson balls. But I think the more you throw, the more you kind of don't worry so much about getting your finger on the laces when you take the snap, but rather finding the tip of the ball with the lace as a secondary guide. I'm sure there's some guy charging for that information on YouTube or Instagram or something, but if you throw enough, you'll figure that out. Sure, if I can figure it out throwing in a beer league, you can figure it out throwing at whatever level you're throwing at. Other things to note about the ball, the angle at which this ball dives from tip to the tip of the laces is incredibly steep without the ball being too pointed at the end. The Bodden balls are marketed similarly for QBs with small hands, blah, blah, blah. Fine, you may agree or disagree with that marketing, but the problem with the Bodden balls, at least the ones that I've held, is that the tip of these balls are way too tight. They're too pointed, and so it's harder to throw spirals. You need a little bit more of an oval shape, an oblong shape at the end of the ball as opposed to a point. This ball does a pretty good job with that. You'll see in the videos, if you compare this to the often used GST, it's a lot more narrow, although it is about the same length and about the same girth in the midline. It's really that lace end to tip of the ball angle that makes this thing so quarterback friendly. I would add too that it's difficult to find balls like this that are marketed toward quarterbacks with small hands, because I think one of the sort of primary metrics these days for quarterbacks is how big is your hand. I played receiver for a long time. I'm getting older. I don't want to play receiver every week now. And so it's natural to switch to quarterback, and I have smallish hands. This is going to be a big deal for me. I'm going to do a little break-in on this. I'm not going to post a video of it unless you guys really want to see. Maybe I'll throw some pictures up on my Twitter or something, or on the channel if you can do that. I don't even know if you can do that on YouTube these days. But yeah, highly recommend. One other thing that I'll add, just a little kudos to the guys over at Big Game USA. Bradley told me that my order, which included a custom Vapor Elite, which I'll be reviewing, would take 8 to 10 business days to ship. This stuff went from ordered to shipped and on my door in 5 business days. I ordered it Tuesday last week. It came here Tuesday this week. So honestly, you cannot beat that kind of speed, and the customer service experience with Brad was amazing. So if you're a Canadian or looking to get a ball outside of their normal shipping zones, hit them up. There's a contact info tab at the bottom of their homepage, and you can do all that stuff. Again, you can get this ball solo, or you can get this ball as part of our tryout pack, which I think is this ball plus 2 other Team Issue balls. There is something in the water at Big Game that drew me to them. You hear about the Vapor Elite a lot. You hear about the Dime a lot. You can't get them anywhere basically except for these guys. And so I thought, you know what? If I'm going to get the best balls out there, I'm going to have to go to the best manufacturer. And man, am I glad I did. If you have any questions, let me know. Put them in the chat. We'll talk about them. Put them in the comments. And I'll help you guys out as best I can. And until next time, happy throwing.